What up, man? It's DJ Juice here with another episode of All in Your Business, the podcast, where it's not based on what you do, but why you do it. And in the building right now, the one and only Kimberly Shead. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's up, Juice?
Man, look, I've been following you for a long time. Matter of fact, I believe when I first moved out, I moved out to Texas, I think it was 06, 07.
Yeah.
And I met someone who came to me and they're like, hey, Juice, you want to try these shampoo products?
Right.
And I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. She's like, nah, shampoo, conditioner, you're going to get everything. My homegirl do this. And I was like, I guess, like, you know what I'm saying? But back then, the emphasis on male health care, self-care, hair, nails, all this stuff, wasn't really, you know, like out there as it is now. Because now it's like, now I think I go manicure, pedicures, I'm doing a whole 9 at least once a month. Right. You know what I'm saying? But back then, it was a thing that I wasn't really into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for, you know what I'm saying, you one of my steps.
Well, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So in doing this though, I seen your products, they was nicely the packaging, everything was on point. Yeah. So that just made me just kind of curious to like, who are you and what do you do? Right. You know, and I heard that in Henderson, Texas, where you're from, right?
Yes. From Henderson,
you had a shop there.
I did.
So I'm all like, okay, shop in Henderson, stuff going on in Tyler, but let's take this back because I want to know more about why you do what you do. Right, yes. So when we talk about hair, we talk about beauty, we talk about fat heads, you can't say fat heads without thinking Kimberly Shead. Right. So Kimberly Shead, what I need to know first is, growing up, the hair thing, was that something that you were always into?
Yes, that was always something I wanted to do since I was a little girl. The movie Hair, you know, with Queen Latifah. Yeah. So that was one of my biggest motivation and inspiration. I love that movie, and it just like, as a kid when I was watching it, I was like, that's something, you know, that I want to do. But hair has always been my passion.
So were you like, did parents or anybody do hair? You know, auntie, somebody around you?
My aunt, she did hair, and she always done my hair. She basically, you know, took me up under her wing and kind of, you know, showed me different things. But yeah, so I'm going to say on my dad's side, we have like a pretty long line of stylists. My cousin, LaTonya Dixon, she's a stylist. And her mom, which is my aunt, Jackie McGill, she is the one who kind of, you know, really just kind of showed us the ropes and the ways. And then now I have myself and then my daughter, you know, and then, you know,
So did you have like siblings?
I do. I have 2 siblings, but neither one of them were, you know.
Were you doing that? I mean, these brothers and sisters, what?
Yeah, they're my brother and my sister, but I didn't do their hair. Yeah. Basically, I was getting my practices from my classmates. So we would have things going on. Back in the day, microwave ponytails was out. So my grandmother, I lived with my grandmother. She actually raised me, and so we would go get hair and buy rollers, buy gel, roll them up, put the hair in the microwave, let the hair get hard and crunchy, and then we would just wrap them around the ponytail, and that was the trend that was out at that time. So and I think I kind of got into the hair care line and wanting to be a hair loss practitioner when I was having my clients come to me and they were dealing with hair loss.
Okay, so before all that, what got you started to say, okay, I want to make this a business? Because so often, I mean, we do stuff growing up. You know, we play basketball. I don't play basketball anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it's things we did coming up. And sometimes, you know, what your passion is as a kid does not necessarily transfer to your passion as an adult. Right. So what made that transfer that said, this is what I really want to do?
So I guess just knowing, you know, my talent and my skills that I had, I wanted to, you know, that's basically what I really knew how to do, and I did it well. So that what made me, you know, say, okay, well, I think that I can actually survive, you know, make a living off of doing hair. Because at one time I wanted to be a nurse. Yeah. So I started taking classes for nursing, and then it was just like something with the hair industry that just kept pulling me back. So I was going to school to do nursing. I went to school at Jacksonville College. Took all my prereqs and everything for nursing. But then I was actually like saying, okay, well, I can make more money doing hair than being a nurse. And then it's what I love to do.
So now that statement is going to sound crazy because most people don't think, they think, you know, what they just see, you know, what you see first. So when you say you can make more money doing hair than being a nurse, explain that.
So basically, you know, you're having, with nurses, you know, nurses, the regular like RNs or whatever, well now since COVID is going out, you know, they're booming now, right? But you know, like back then it was like $16, $17 an hour. Okay, I got a client coming in and they're going to purchase hair. They're going to get their hair serviced. They're going to purchase product when they leave. That's like a $500 service.
So this is the entrepreneur mindset that you kind of gathered during college, where you were like, okay, look, I'm doing this, but this is not really what I want to do.
Right.
Because I went to school for physics, engineering, and I was doing that, and I was like, I really want to do business. I know where I want to go and what I want to do, and it looked crazy to my parents because they was like, nah, you stay in them books, you're going to go get this job, you're going to go work for these people, and you're going to be happy because you have some money. And I'm like, that's not really fulfilling.
It's not.
And the older person tell you, well, fulfilling or good, you'll be broke and fulfilled. And I'm like, not necessarily. It depends on, you know, the steps that you take. So speaking of steps, what was the thing, that first step in order to start your business?
So basically, I had to find a chemist, you know, and do the research with the shampoo and conditioner.
So did you start that first before you started doing hair?
Well,
like the hair salon?
Actually, I had my hair salon first, and then I kind of like incorporate, because my first hair salon, it was called Talk of the Town. So I was just basically in there, you know, just working by myself. And then once I kind of branched off, that's when Fatheads came, you know, with the shampoo.
So Talk of the Town. How did Talk of the Town get started? So
Talk of the Town got started just, you know, me actually saying there's a need for this in my hometown. I had a lot of older stylists that I looked up to. You know, they were older. And I'm going to call them beauticians because they're not stylists. To me, there's a difference between a beautician and a stylist. So we had beauticians, the people who actually cared about your natural hair, who cared about your hair. That's what we had back in the day. And by my grandmother, she was older. She raised me, so I went to like older beauticians at that time. But there was a need for younger stylists in Henderson, Texas. So that's what made me, you know, say, okay, well, yeah, this is something that could be done, because most of the older stylists, they were getting ready to retire. They wasn't doing as much, or they wasn't up on game per se. They wasn't keeping up with the trends. So I decided, okay, well then, you know, I'll open up a salon.
You call it Talk of the Town.
The Talk of the Town.
So starting a business, because I mean, we're in the business that I started. I mean, there's always struggles, there's always ups and downs. So when you created Talk of the Town, what was the biggest hill or battle that you had to fight within that first shop?
I believe being a good steward over my money. Because with stylists, we make money daily. So you have to be able to say, okay, this is not my money. You know, this is the business. I have to pour this back into the business. But if you're getting paid daily, then you spend money daily. Because it's in your hands. So it's there. So when it's time for you to pay your bills, you have no money because, you know, you done spent that money daily. Or you're actually sitting there, you're like, okay, well, I got Linda and Sue and, you know, JJ coming tomorrow. So I can spend this money and I know I'm going to make it again tomorrow. But what happens if Linda, Sue, and JJ, something happened with them and they have to cancel?
Then you're stuck.
Then you're stuck.
It reminded me of that. Reminded me of COVID.
Most definitely.
I was booked for so many proms. I'm talking about this. It was probably 2020 was going to be my biggest DJ year when it came to proms and came to school events. And then COVID hit February, and it was like, oh, we probably still be having a prom. But I'm like, all right, cool. I know they ain't having no damn prom.
I remember that. Y'all did it online. Didn't y'all do the online prom?
We did an online prom because I had so many people cancel. It was like, okay.
Yes.
We got to try to figure this out.
And the thing about that with COVID, I was in transition of moving to Tyler when it happened. So my shop in Henderson, I was actually moving it to Tyler. COVID came, shut us down. So we couldn't do anything. So we done signed this lease.
Yeah.
That lease still rolling.
Okay, so we're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to Tyler.
Okay.
So we're at Talk of the Town.
Okay.
That's going, the thing you had to learn was money management.
Yes.
Because that money management, getting it every day, you spend it every day.
You're spending it
You know,
every
you get
day.
$100, you think, oh, well, I can go buy this. So
Right.
this, you know, I got $100.
Exactly.
But not really realizing that this stuff is supposed to add up, just like an actual paycheck would add up.
It's supposed to add up.
Yeah.
And then you have to understand, okay, I have supplies. I have to buy supplies.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm starting this out with scratch. I done got it out the mud.
Yeah.
So I didn't go get a business loan.
Okay, so this was all you.
Yes, this was me.
You do this is scratch. You say, all right, Talk of the Town, this is my baby, I'm doing this, money management, you start learning about that. When do you say, okay, it's time for me to step it up?
Okay, so basically, you know, when I started building my clientele up, and then I incorporated hair, you know, I started selling extensions, and, you know, like I said, the other things, you know, just actually putting things in my salon that would sell. I started dealing with candles, you know, so anything that your client will look at and say, okay, you know, I want to purchase, you know, or I need to purchase. So it was supply and demand. What really, you know, there was a demand for extensions in our area. So me and my husband, we were looking around for, you know, extensions and different stuff like that. At that time, it wasn't a big thing like it was now. So we had to do a lot of research, you know, for extensions. So got that, and, you know, we just kind of started bringing other things in. So that's kind of like what helps.
So your add-ons to your business, because a lot of people don't look at the merch, they don't look at the little bitty things, the candles, the little $10 items
add up.
that people, it's like when you go to Walmart and you about to go check out.
Yep.
Why do they have the candy and the little fingernail clippers?
It's
you know you don't need no fingernail clipper.
No, you don't need
But you're going to pick it up because it's there. And it's there and it's cheap. It's like, oh, it's only $4. Let me go ahead and grab that.
Yes. Yeah. And a profit is a profit.
Oh, yeah, definitely, most definitely.
Yes.
So you're putting these things in, and are you inviting other stylists in, or is this just strictly you?
At that time, no. It was just strictly me.
So taking on that, is that easier or is that harder?
Well, I'm going to say because for so many years I worked by myself. When I actually moved to my second location, I had a barber in there, Derek Sheffield. Shout out to Sheffield. He was a barber. Me and him went to barber college together. Okay. So he was actually working in my salon with me. So it was kind of, I would say it's good because, you know, he's bringing in other traffic, you know. Right. So I can bring, you know, my clients can come in to get their hair done, you know, a hairstyle, and they also can bring their children in to get their hair cut.
Okay, so with your first, so you brought in a barber instead of bringing in another beautician or a stylist.
Yes.
What was the method for that?
Well, it wasn't intentionally, I don't think. It was just how, you know, it happened. Okay. At my second location, my cousin, she done hair bows. She was doing like trendy items. Okay. So shout out to Elmisha Washington. So that's who was actually doing that. So I was doing hair, Sheffield was cutting hair, and she was making accessories. Oh,
y'all had a little shop going. Y'all had a little hustle shop going.
Yeah, so we just kind of, you know, had it going on like that. And it was the three of us.
Okay.
It was the three of us. And so that's kind of how we worked it out, you know, for a while.
And that second shop was called Fatheads.
No, that one was Talk of the Town as well. I just moved to a bigger location.
Okay, so you took Talk of the Town, first location, moved to a second location.
A bigger location.
Okay. Yes. Bigger location, then we do another transformation.
Yes.
Fatheads. Why Fatheads?
Yes. It's just, me and my friend one day, we were thinking actually of a name for my product. Yeah. So that's how Fatheads is Fatheads, because it's it piggybacks off of my products.
Okay, so it started off. So Fatheads is piggyback straight off the product, and then you turned that into the brand. Ooh, do y'all see what's going on here? Y'all need to take notes.
Yes. Yes.
That's dope.
Yes.
So Fatheads comes, the products. Okay, so when you start marketing these products, I mean, because of course you were saying that you had to go do the formulas and actually find what's right.
Yes.
And now with this whole natural thing, does that change the game at all, or is that a...
Well, no, because like when I sat down and I was thinking about my products, I had to think about all hair types. So I got shampoo and conditioner made for natural hair.
Okay.
So I got shampoo and conditioner made for like people with dry hair. And I believe I can't remember what I gave you at that time, but it was, different products for different, textures of hair.
Okay.
And that's how it is now. And that's how I base my products off of my brand is off of, what's being needed. So I will launch a shampoo and conditioner here in a couple of months. And it's for people that has, to help with hair loss, because that's what the big thing is now.
Yeah, then I feel like I got a little grays and stuff coming through.
Yes.
I'm getting a little old.
So that's how, I decided to, what products to use, what products to get.
I know that's like one of the things that I hear now is, I got natural hair. I have this or I have this. And I think what you said making sure that you satisfy the needs.
Right.
And if there's a need, that's my story in my life when it comes to the radio. I found what the radio station needed, and then I said, okay, I can provide this.
Exactly.
And then I put my foot in there,
Yes.
and I was able to, move around or whatnot.
Yes.
So that's dope when you say the need, especially with the hair loss, especially now. And then, you know, I'm trying to take care of everything. We got to try to keep these little 360s while we can.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes.
So we started the hairline. When you started this hairline, were you still in Talk of the Town?
When I started my hairline, I was still in Henderson when I started my brand. Yes.
And were you still in Talk of the Town, or you had already transitioned?
No, I had already it was Talk of the Town. So I transitioned. So when I actually transitioned, Fats, it was in Henderson too. Because here's the thing, when I left from Henderson, I moved to Tyler.
Okay.
And my salon, I had a home in back, and my salon was up top. So I was working from home. Because my husband, he worked in the oil field, so my girls were going to school, so it was kind of hard for me to make that commute.
So you said girls, so kids. You have kids.
My
How
kids.
many kids you
I have 2 girls.
2 girls.
Two girls,
That's a whole nother dynamic.
Yes.
You're talking about opening up businesses, being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
But still having to take care of home at the same time. So money management is even double on that side, because you got somebody looking at you like, hey, mama, let me get that.
Exactly. Yes, I need that.
I need that.
Yes, I need that. Yes. So when I was working, I had a salon on the land that we lived on. But then it was a small house, like a small 2-bedroom home that we recreated and made it as a salon.
Yeah.
So I just had to go from home to there, and that was like the best commute ever. Just going up my driveway. So I outgrew that. I needed to go back to a storefront. So when I went back to Henderson, and that was the first Fatheads.
Okay, you say you need to go to a storefront. What was the importance of going from what we call like an at-home setup to a storefront? Because a lot of people, they believe that they can cut hair forever in their house. They feel like they can do these things forever in their house.
Yes.
Why was it important for you to have a storefront?
So like traffic. So I was able, like my home salon, it was on 31. Yeah. So it wasn't as much traffic coming through there, and just wanted to be a little bit more professional. It was I had it set up, but it still was a house. A house is a house,
Yeah, when you walk in the house.
Exactly. And a storefront is a storefront,
Yeah.
So I needed, to be a little bit more professional looking, you know, and when you start to grow and you start to deal with different businesses, they're looking at, I want to see what your location look like, you know, or, you know, I need to see, you know, your location have to match to what you're actually doing. So that's how I was like, yeah, I need a storefront. And then, so I did the storefront.
Yeah, that's dope. When you say about the location matching, one thing I noticed when I went to Nashville, Tennessee, I'm big on Black-owned businesses. And there, you can't tell who's Black-owned and who's not.
Right.
And I think that that's the dopest because when you go and you go eat pizza with these what is it, Slim's Pizza? I can't remember the name. But when you go eat that pizza, it's good. The atmosphere is good. It's Black-owned, but it doesn't give you that, oh man, this is tore up. It doesn't get you, you know, a brand new place with old stuff. It doesn't give you that. And that's one thing that I commend you on because when it comes to businesses, that's the first thing people look at.
Exactly.
Like they look at what type of business that you have. And then when they walk in, it needs to fit and match that whole scheme.
Exactly. And I wanted, okay, if I say that I have a salon, I need this to look and feel like a salon.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things that I'm really big on in my salon, no kids, you know, and unless they're being serviced. Okay. Because, you know, a salon is like our happy place.
So it ain't like the barbershop for the guys. Well, the barbershop used to be good back in the day. But then we started out, it used to be our happy place. When they started this appointment stuff, it kind of changed up.
That, you know,
it did. Because we used to go to the barbershop early in the morning, 9 o'clock, get dropped off. It's nothing, it's 20, 25 men in there having conversation.
Exactly.
And it's good conversation. It was conversation that we needed to grow as young men.
As young men.
So that is almost obsolete now.
It is. Yeah. All of these booking sites, I can't get down with it. You know, I mean, I understand, you know, the world is shifting and it's changing and everything, but even me, now I still don't do booking sites. Call me. I need to know exactly what you need. I don't need you to get on my booking site and assume anything. I need to speak with you. We need to talk. We need to have everything.
Yeah, have everything like that. Because I seen a situation, matter of fact, online where somebody was saying they booked, but they didn't put like, oh, my hair is this long. They didn't put that I have this, so this person show up, they're like, I gotta do $500 worth of work, and you only paid for $100 job.
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure this out.
That's why I don't do that. Yeah. That's why I don't do it. You know, I mean, my daughter, the younger ladies in the salon, that's what they do. I don't. You know, I'm still old school. Yeah. I need to talk to you. We need to see what you got going on.
It's still genuine people out here who care about you.
Yes, most definitely. Yes.
Dope. So, come to Tyler. You open up Fat Heads. I was at the grand opening, amazing grand opening. I mean, the food. I mean, you laid it on out there. You laid out the carpet for everybody. Yeah. But one thing I noticed when I walked around your facility, all the different compartments and the different things you offered. I feel like, man, I was in a I don't know, like when you go to a mall, but it's all beauty. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I felt like, oh, I don't know what this is. I never asked you. I was like, hey, what's this good chair over here? You was like, that's not for you.
Yeah, that ain't for you. Exactly.
But it's, you know, to walk around and see things, especially men, a lot of times, we don't know.
Right, exactly.
But now I know, hey, I'm going to go pay for this, or I'm going to go get this gift card, or I'm going to go do this.
Exactly.
You know, for another person, because I see what it is, and I think that's so important. But the way you had your stuff laid out, it was really nice. So, man, hey, big ups to you on that.
Already.
But the question, though, I'm always like, the design process.
Yeah.
How do you mold your design so that other people can feel it and accept it?
Well, I don't know. I think it just come natural. Yeah. You know, just like I kind of think, okay, if this wasn't my salon and I went to a salon, how would, you know, what are the things that I would want, you know, in a salon? And, you know, my thing is beauty and wellness, it all runs together, you know, so basically that's how I kind of incorporated, you know, just trying to have everything under one roof, you know, so therefore you don't have to go, you can get your hair done. Yeah. Also, you know what I'm saying? You can, have wellness here as well. Because it's all things beauty.
Yeah.
It's all things beauty.
You spoke about hair loss. And you speak about it a lot. So is that something that like hit close to home?
Well, I'm not going to say that it hit close to home. It was my clients. It was my clients that come to me and they're like, I'm losing my hair. I don't know what's going on. And as a person, like, that's just like a doctor. If you are a doctor and your patient come to you and say, I'm dealing with this, and you can't tell them what's actually going on.
Yeah.
So you're going to go research it. And it was happening quite often. Like, I was having people, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I was
I
like,
don't know
okay.
if it's the water. I don't know what's going on.
If it's the food, the relaxers, and that's a big thing, that is going on now, with relaxer. They're saying, Dark and Lovely is bringing out people here. They have a lawsuit against,
For real?
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's what everybody, like back in the day.
Everybody wore
Dark and
perms.
Lovely.
Exactly. Everybody. And also, a lot of cosmetologists that I knew, they either were getting cancer, it's like people in the industry was developing, cancer and stuff. So like when you go to deal with these chemicals, I don't care if you're not actually putting it on your hair, but you're touching it, So I have to incorporate with my students, make sure you put those gloves on because you're dealing with chemicals. And that's the science part of cosmetology, is dealing with those chemicals. So I really didn't know what was actually going on. So I was like, let me start doing research. So I started looking up, hair loss, places that do hair loss. Of course, there's nothing like that around here. So I reached out to where I got my hair loss certificate from. Was Lord, my mind just went blank. So anyway,
we'll put it down there at the bottom.
We're gonna put it down. USTI. I'm sorry,
there you
my
go.
mind went blank. USTI. So I reached out to USTI and I was like, okay, a hair loss practitioner, right? So a hair loss practitioner is, just an actual study of science, just kind of like advanced. Okay. So I started looking at prices and I'm like, I can't. It's not in my budget.
Yeah.
It's not in my budget. So this stuff kept going on. So when you have clients and you really see on your client's face that, hey, I still, it's just, it was repetitively.
One of those things where they just stop coming to you because they lose it.
They don't, I'm not going to say they stop coming. They just continue to lose their hair until it's like this.
No, I'm just saying there's no hair for you. And you got to do other things. So,
exactly. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make, make it to where this year I'm going to do hair loss.
I think that's dope.
I had to make it in my budget.
I think it's dope that you didn't say, I'm just going to do wigs.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, not a shot or nothing like that, but just saying like, oh, you got hair loss? Yeah. Here, put a wig on. But you actually took the time and your own money to invest in the people.
Exactly. And so I was awarded a scholarship for some of my funding through UST. I wrote a scholarship and they actually gave me some of the funds, for hair loss. So I got a scholarship for that, and then I went ahead and I spent the rest of my money to actually, do the things with hair loss. And like you said, wigs, because that's the thing with us, and that's what I'm trying to get us, out of doing. Stop, wigs and stuff. If you're already dealing with hair loss and you're steady covering your hair up, you're not doing anything. You're just steady. Your hair's not breathing. You're covering it up. You're going to just continue to lose your hair. But I was like, okay, if I can get my people to do other styles other than wigs, and when you have hair loss, and then that's all you really want to wear, or you can't do really any other style other than wigs, with that. So sometimes it's kind of hard. So sometimes they do have to wear a wig, but you have to tell them, you can't, at home, when you're in the privacy of your own home, you have to let your hair breathe.
Yeah, let the hair breathe.
Let it breathe. Yeah. So that's kind of how I came up, with that.
Okay, so at this place also, doing hair, have multiple stylists, but then you say, time to take it to school.
I'm gonna take to school.
Why to school?
Man, because school is like, right now, trying to go to cosmetology school, the cost of cosmetology school, it's ridiculous, you know.
Oh,
so,
for real?
oh yeah.
I mean, I never looked into it, so.
Okay.
And
so I was dealing with like some of my, you know, my people that I would mentor, they would go to school and then they were like, you know, they would just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. And if you don't have school and you're not knowing the right way to actually do hair, that's why people have to come sit in my chair, because there's a lack of knowledge. And people don't want to go, they want to go to school, but the hours of school, it used to be for cosmetology 1,500 hours.
Oh yeah, you be working all day for free.
15
and
for
not
free.
And not working,
for
getting
free.
some money.
Exactly. So it took like a year for that program.
Yeah.
And then if you went part-time, because you have to provide for your family. If you went part-time, that's 2 years.
That's right. So that's the same as what barber college was.
It's the same. It's the same as what barber. And that's even for barbers too. If you are a grown man and you have to provide for your family, but I want this, and you know, I want this, and I have to go to school for 1,500 hours. You're not being able to work. If you don't work, you don't eat. So it's hard to provide for your family unless you have a help meet, you know, and that's pretty hard. So what are people going to do? Either you're going to provide for your family or you're going to drop out of school. And the important thing is to provide for my family. So that's what you're going to do. Yeah. So we, you know, then they came up with specialty courses. And that's what we are incorporating now, is specialty courses, to where you don't have to go to school for a whole year. Myself, Lucretia, and Rashida have 3 post-secondary cosmetology hair, nails, and lashes. Okay. It's all been broken up. Basically, cosmetology, that's the same thing that actually goes on in cosmetology. But why do I go to school was 1,500 hours back in the day when I don't even want to do nails or I don't even want to do lashes?
Yeah, because I think the school that closed down in Longview Vista, they had basically all of that, but people were dropping out left and right because the girl was like, I don't want to do no nails. I don't care about doing nails.
Exactly. So it's straight to the point now, you know. So I will incorporate cosmetology back in my program because they have knocked it down to 1,000 hours, but that's to accommodate the people who want to do it all. Okay. So with the cosmetology license, you can do it all, but with specialty courses, you can only do where you're going to school for, that specialty courses. Like mine is hair weaving. So the young ladies that actually come to my school, they do hair weaving. And that's what they're interested in, is doing wigs and weave. Okay. But learning the proper way to actually, if you're going to do it, there's a way to do it.
Oh, dope. So it basically gives people, all right, I'm not interested in doing everything. Like, even coming into the studio, I don't want to record you, so I just want to take pictures.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah.
So whatever you want to do, y'all need to go stop by there. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you have people now have the school. What's next?
Oh, wow. Trying to find funding for people to go to school.
Now you're taking over all of it.
Right.
Because that funding is so
Do I need to open up a bank?
Man, look. You open up. I mean, at this point, we have to figure it out, because there's a lot of situations where people want to do so much, but they don't. Number one, I guess it's the motivation. Just seeing people like them be able to do it and do it successfully and do it at a high level.
Exactly.
Because so many times we see people do things, it's not genuine, so they only do things for a couple months, 6 months, and then you never hear about it again.
Exactly.
I always say when the cricket machines and everybody was making T-shirts.
Everybody was doing shirts.
You could tell who really wanted to make shirts because they still making shirts now.
Because it's hard work.
Yeah, because I remember I did some basketball jerseys one day, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
I have a cricket machine that's in my trunk right now. Never used it. Don't know how to use it. But I was like, okay, I want to make me some shirts and that's the thing. People get into certain things that they don't have any desire. They don't even have a passion for it. They're just doing it because they see the next person doing it.
Or they think that they do, and they think it's easy until they actually get into it and they realize, why am I doing this? For me, it was okay, I wanted to make shot glasses. I wanted to give out a couple shirts.
Right.
But then when I got to the point where, all right, look, I'm making money. I ain't got time to be sitting here making these shirts. Let me call my boy Alex. Hey, Alex, man, can you pay me up 100 shirts?
Yes,
How much it going to cost? Because I'm not driving to Dallas picking those shirts.
Yes.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
It just came more convenient to pay for it.
Exactly.
Especially
more convenient.
When it's something that you don't want to do.
Exactly.
Like, why am I sitting here wasting my time for something that I have, no interest in?
Exactly.
So, no, I definitely feel that. I definitely feel that.
Most definitely.
So the funding, man, that's going to be big. That's going to be very, very important. I'm always interested in why people do things because what people do a lot of different things. But when they're passionate about it, you can see it, you can feel it, and you know that, okay, this is something I'm going to watch so I can learn from.
Exactly.
Because I believe you watch people long enough, you can learn something.
Exactly.
Whether it's good or bad, you're going to learn something from them. So my biggest thing is the why. Because the why is what motivates me all the time.
Exactly.
When I moved to Texas, 12 years ago, something like that. And when I moved here, I ain't gonna lie, at first I was like, no, I can't do this. This is too country. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then once I actually got out, and one of my first trips was going to the Jamboree, the Yam Festival, and going to the Turnip Green Festival. And I only went because people were like, at the station, they was like, oh, no, we don't feel like going. I was like, I'll go.
I'm going.
They was like, you want to go for real? They were like, let me see if we can get you on the insurance.
Yeah.
I wasn't working at the station. I was just hanging around ICE. And I was like, I'll go.
Right.
Hold on, let me go ask. Juice, you want to do a call in from there?
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I started on the radio.
Right.
For free, going to these places doing call-ins.
Really?
But
okay.
I enjoyed it because now I'm thinking, okay, this is nothing here. But me, I'm a person who loves culture.
Right.
So now I'm getting to go to Easton and walk around with these folks, and I'm eating turnip greens
all
and
kind of stuff.
I'm doing all kind of stuff. I'm in Gilmer. I'm driving around at a park and I see a guy named Bill. He stopped me. Hey, you on the radio? I'm like, yeah, I'm Juice. He said, you Juice?
Yeah.
He said, man, you want some hot links? I was like, yeah. So I pulled over, had some hot links, and he pulled out the cooler. I was like, hey, I shouldn't, but I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when I started experiencing the people and the hospitality, I knew why I was here. I knew what I was here for. And so that's one of the things why I'm doing this all in your business, because I'm trying to be in folks' business and exploit that why, because the why is important, and a lot of people who follow from a distance, they need to know.
Exactly.
Because everybody thinks, oh, well, you moved from Atlanta. It's all the rappers in Atlanta. That's why it was easy for you to be on the radio. They didn't know that.
Didn't know.
Yeah, this was free stuff I was doing.
Exactly.
Just to get my name out. I looked and I seen what was needed.
Yeah.
And I felt that void.
Exactly. Yes. Because we definitely need you. Yeah. And you're not scared to talk. It's just like with me, like speaking and talking. That's things that I have to grow into, Yeah. But I mean, you have it natural, Yeah,
I just thought, I'm curious. I'm nosy as hell. I'm always know. I'm like, so why you doing it? Why you put on the socks like this?
You naturally nosy, so hey.
But I'm nosy because I'm always trying to figure out what people need. So there were some people who came yesterday who have a brand of products and clothes, and I figured out what they needed. And once I sat in here, I was like, oh, so you need this. And she was like, yes. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, it's that simple, that easy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To be around and listen. And I think a lot of times we look, we see, and we assume.
Exactly.
So I'd rather dive into it and really get to see what this person's about and why they do it, what their motivation is. Because some people have motivation where they look at it, oh, I have kids, so I have to do this for my kids. Or I'm going through this and I'm trying to take care of mama. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do all these different things.
Exactly.
But everybody's motivation not the same.
Exactly.
Because a person like me, I ain't got no kids. So I can't use that. I ain't gonna lie. Christmas time, I be looking all kind of dumbfounded.
You be looking dumb.
because I get online and everybody just
with their kids
I be
like that.
Man, that's cute.
You got nieces and nephews?
Yeah, I love them to death. And I mean, but they distant, so it's just not there. But it's like, man.
Yeah.
So, but the why is so important. So this is another episode of All of Your Business podcast with the one and only Kimberly Shead.
Yes.
Hey, you got anything that you want to say to the people?
I just want to say, stay motivated, and if you're wanting a business, do your research. Go find you someone that you can wing yourself, with, and find you a mentor and make it happen. Don't give up, because you're going to have some times where, it's not all gravy, especially when you're getting it out the mud.
Man, for real. It's not all great, man. Don't give up. We appreciate you. This is another episode of All in Your Business. Where we talk about the why, not the what, because we don't care what you do. We care why you do it.
Why you do it, exactly.
Peace. We out.